Hello, welcome back to the channel Tarot Yogi. I'm Vinit, and today we have again messages from Kalimaa. You guys love watching this reading. I love doing this reading, and we're going to be doing something a little different today. We're going to be doing some pyromancy, which is scrying using the element of fire. And a lot of people have been asking me, what is the meaning of scrying? So, just the way we use tarot to get answers, scrying is sort of like taking off your bicycle wheels and just learning to focus your energy inwards or on the object and trying to get a direct experience of the object. It's sort of like meditating on the object so you understand the true nature of the object and not how your mind perceives it to be. That's how you get direct knowledge or pratyaksh gyan. And that is sort of the basis of scrying, at least the way I understand it. Yeah, so having said that, we have 3 piles to choose from, and we have perfumes today. We have perfume oils today, or attars. So pile number 1, we have the black bottle, which is the oud, and I love this. It's very woody. It's very masculine. It's very awesome. Yeah. And pile number 2, we have the musk scent, which is the yellow bottle. Yeah, and it's musk, so it's pretty awesome too. And pile number 3, we have the clear bottle, which is love forever. So I will be tagging them in the description box below, which will have the timestamp for your pile, and I will also name the perfumes so it'll be easier for you to choose. And having said that, again, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, if you enjoy me doing such readings, please do let me know in the comments. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading, and I will see you guys in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the oud perfume, this is your pyromancy reading on what message does Kalimaa have for you. So just give me a minute and we'll get to channeling. And I am going to apply a bit of this because this is probably like one of my favorite scents. And I just love how tactile it is. It almost connects me to a past life, I feel. So, yes. Let's get to channeling. Okay, pile number 1. So what I'm noticing firstly is how gently the candle flame is dancing. It has so much grace, and yet it is steadily trying to sustain itself, yet reach a higher rate of combustion so it can burn brighter. So, and again, like as you can see, the flame is dancing a little too aggressively now because of the wind. So I think the message over here for you is about resilience. It's about patience. It's about understanding that you are a very beautiful, exotic, peculiar flower that has a time and a special place to bloom. And you need to honor this about yourself. And like I said, there is truly no one like you. Pile number 1, you are like this rare exotic flower that will only bloom once. So I think you need to be more gentle and graceful with yourself, especially through turbulent times where you forget your true nature, which is to just dance gently, right? And I'm noticing the cat candle now, and how basically the brain of the cat right now is on fire. So you are getting, see, the flame is going crazy. So again, I think you are getting a lot of divine downloads. I think you are being guided through this rite of passage in your life. So you need to understand that everything happening right now is only going to lead to something better, and it's not going to last forever. And if you're looking for answers, if you're seeking for answers, all you need to do is sometimes just sit silently and look up at the sky. And in those very gentle, quiet moments, will you be able to just unstring all this heaviness around you? I do sense there is a lot of baggage here as well. So, and I don't think you have been able to express your own personal truth, but you need to understand that not everyone will firstly understand you, pile number one, and not everyone has to. And there's certain lessons that are only just for you. And through those lessons, will you be able to unlock deeper knowledge about yourself directly? So understand that you don't have to dance at other people's pace, I guess. You can take your time to bloom. And I'm seeing the night now, and I'm reminded of moonflowers. I have my datura in front of me. So you need to be more respectful with your natural cycles. For a lot of y'all, I do think the siren went. So I do think for a lot of y'all, there is an emergency over here of, I forgot what I was going to say, but as we saw, the cat's head popped off. So I think kalimaa has a very direct message for you since that happened. And I think the message over here is that you will find the answers that you're seeking, the truth that you're seeking, beyond the point of your intellect and beyond your mind. So you have to sort of self-decapitate over here your own ego to transform, to reach a much better space for you, a much happier time in your life for you. Pile number one. I think that's what you need to understand, that yes, a sacrifice is required before things, finally do get better. And I don't think the sacrifice over here is of anything external. I think it is internal, and it's not just internal. It is sort of the seat of your ego, right? It is your mind. So you will be in this frustrated energy. You will keep just going round and round in the circles, the cyclical nature of being into things, being out of things, right? So understand that you basically have to decimate your own mind first. And through that there will be freedom. Firstly, there will be unburdening, there will be more energy and motivation, and there will just be alignment for you. So even if it seems counterintuitive for you right now, but what you need to do is do less and sort of cultivate your inner garden a little more over here, and really tend to the flower that you are, pile number one. And I'm seeing cats now, so I really want you to know that you're very, very protected. You're very, very also close to Mother Goddess. So you have nothing to worry. And understand that certain rabbit holes that we dig ourselves into, only we can dig ourselves out of, right? And it is not a useless experience, right? It changes us, and it helps us see things in a different light, and that is what is going to liberate you, pile number one. So I think the focus and the attention over here is to untangle yourself internally, and I'm telling you, once you do this, things externally will be much more stable for you. Things will be more pleasant for you, right? There is no pleasantness I feel right now. So you will be happy, but again, only you can make yourself happy right now, pile number one. And that's not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. So it could be worse. So just allow yourself, pile number one, to bloom the way you need to, and honor that, and understand that just because everyone else is blooming right now doesn't mean you need to or you have to, right? And I do think there is an emphasis over here on maybe the kind of relationships you have, romantic or platonic, just anyone and everyone you come across. Pile number one, if they're triggering you, if they're making you anxious, they're just holding up a mirror to a part of you that you have sort of hidden away, right? And I really want you to understand that everyone, even the people that hate you the most, are an extension of you in a way, right? So realize the deeper truths, and not just realize, really walk in it, because what I'm seeing over here is sort of like rapture, right? I'm seeing clouds being torn apart and the angel blowing its horn. So this is a spiritual awakening, and it only gets more difficult the higher you ascend, so to speak. But again, the danger is not from others. The danger is, from your own subconscious and things that you have maybe pushed under the rug and not addressed, which is basically clogging and blocking your true progress over here, pile number one. So understand the keys are with you. The keys are literally with you, pile number one. You don't have to look outside yourself. Now I'm seeing all the three flames together, and I feel they're so balanced beautifully. So again, you need to sort of go on a journey of inner soul retrieval where you're calling back all parts of yourself that you've had to abandon, and understand they can coexist at the same time, and they have in fact coexisted at the same time all the time. And once there is a little more synchronization in your inner world, it doesn't always feel like a thunderstorm. Not all the time, right? I do think that has been your inner weather lately, pile number one. And let's not make it a climate, right? Let's bring in some change. That's why we have seasons. So understand you can basically choose whatever you want over here, whatever color of the sky you want it to be. It can be that. It doesn't have to be dark blue, right? And I'm just noticing the red candle. So I do think there's an emphasis over here on the simple things, the daily things that you do, whether it just be working out, just self-maintenance, right? Nourishing yourself, eating the right things. That's like a big thing, right? So just really taking care of yourself at that level, and understanding your own physical needs, because ascension only happens once, again, we have integrated these lower aspects within us, right? Pile number one. So understand that you don't have to burn anymore, and you can sustain your fire without it coming out of your own fuel, right? You don't have to be the sacrificial lamb over here, even though you love to help people. You really love to do that, right? But I think right now you have to do that for yourself, pile number one. I think that's really the message. Understand that you're here to take up space. I'm just noticing how the red candle overspilled, and I should have probably put a bigger tray there, but regardless, understand that you are here to expand like the universe in every way, in your ambition, in your goals, in who you are, who you want to be, and you're allowed to take up as much space as you want. You are allowed to really be seen, be known, and have a voice that is heard. So stop hiding, pile number 1. I think you really have to just step into this energy of being seen and understand that you are here on earth right now to be of service. Whether it be spiritual service, worldly service, but you are here to serve people. And that itself is a privilege, pile number 1. So I really want you to understand that. Don't bend over backwards for other people. If at all you have to bend over backwards, do it for yourself, pile number 1. I think that's the message. And again, like I said, I'm repeating, you don't have to be the sacrifice. You really, really don't have to be the sacrifice to keep the equilibrium, to keep other people happy, pile number 1. That needs to stop. You need to cut that out with your ego. So it's quite literally saying that you need to put yourself through an ego death, because if you don't, I do feel sooner or later it is going to come and be at your doorstep, and it's never pleasant, right? So you might as well move through awareness and mindfulness than to be in more pain, right, pile number 1? And understand that you're not being punished. It is a part of your soul's evolution. It is how we grow. And I'm just reminded of my plant. I'm seeing my plant when it was a baby sapling, and how, again, the stems we see are, for example, they have been built through its resistance, through rain and harsh winds, right? So there is a resilience about you. You're not going to be swayed. You're going to be very fixed in your energy, which is great. And you're only going to get more resilient. So, and with you particularly, again, I'm getting this message of providing your umbrella and your support to whoever needs it. Because again, there's an emphasis on service. So you could have prominent Virgo placements. Your North Node could be in Virgo, it could be in Gemini. Getting a lot of this mercurial here to serve energy for you, pile number 1. So stop playing small and let yourself be heard. You will be surprised, pile number 1. And all of a sudden I couldn't speak. So really speak up, pile number 1. I think that's the message. And I do think you're going to be using your voice in whatever you do over here, whether it be socializing, networking, or even making YouTube videos, right? Wherever you fall on the spectrum, pile number 1, understand you have a gift and only you can activate this within yourself. So it is a very positive message. Understand you're not going to lose anything in this sacrificial fire, right? If at all you're gaining more, you're gaining truth over ignorance, pile number 1. So understand why you're doing what you're doing and focus on making each day meaningful. I think that's all, and I think everything else will fall into place. And like I said, if you're looking for answers, pile number 1, wait, have patience. And I see a lot of people in the comments, and I get it. Having patience is not the easiest thing to do, but especially if you want to walk the spiritual path, which I do feel you are, pile number 1, patience is sort of a prerequisite, because, for example, I'm able to make sense of something that happened like maybe 17 years ago that I couldn't understand, and all of a sudden I get an answer. I'm just giving an example. So understand that just years of unanswered questions that you have in your mind about your life, about understanding who you are, it will one day in a flash all be revealed to you. So just let it happen. But yet keep up your inquisitive mind. Be curious, you know, still go after whatever you want to go after, but focus more on the stability part of things, pile number 1. And slow and steady wins the race, right? The red candle is behaving very intensely today, I feel. I'm just noticing the pattern on the red candle, and it sort of looks like a dragon serpent, like Leviathan. And again, the candle is just spilling over more and more, and it sort of looks like blood right now. So understand that there is a beast within you, pile number 1, and you do have to contain it, but there's always a way to tame it also. And there will be a time and place for what you want to happen, and it will. But go inwards. I think that's really the message, to go inwards and to really face the deep, scary, dark monster within yourself, the Leviathan within you. And blow it a kiss, honestly, pile number 1, and understand that yes, that is a part of you, but you're also divine. This is crazy. Like it literally looks like a sea serpent. And on the other side, I'm sort of seeing a crown. So understand you have a big destiny. You have big shoes to fill. You are king, pile number 1. And no successful king in history had an easy life, right? So understand that. I think that's the most important message for you. Now I'm seeing 2 flames, and the wick has sort of split into 2 over here. So if you're single, know that your twin flame is coming to you very, very soon. You're going to have true love. And again, the cliche is to not focus on it, to focus on the other things. And as a byproduct of you succeeding in your other quests, this other romantic quest will be unlocked for you, sort of in your video game world, right? Pile number 1. So understand that. I'm really stunned by how the candle is carving itself out. And understand that that is your beauty over here, pile number 1. You will be surprised by how things will turn out, how you will turn out. So get used to this sweet surprise. Yeah. I should probably put out that flame, because in yesterday's reading, I did burn the tablecloth, and I don't want to burn my second tablecloth. But let's see, any other messages? Yeah, since I just said that, I think the final message is you will get whatever you want. You will achieve whatever you want over here, pile number One, but understand it doesn't have to be at the cost of you. And once you understand this, once you are able to unlock this within yourself, that's when you will win. Yeah. Um, any other messages? Yeah, that's all I see for pile number ones. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, if you did enjoy this reading, please do let me know in the comments. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for private reading, and I'll see you guys in your next reading. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the Musk perfume scent, this is your reading on messages from Kalimaa, and I'm going to be doing some pyromancy today, which is scrying with fire. So just give me a minute and we'll get to channeling. And I'm just going to apply some of this musk because it is currently my favorite perfume. It is so beautiful. I don't even know how to describe it. It's definitely it's very pheromonal. Is that the word? It sort of triggers you at a very base instinct level in a very nice way. So maybe right now you're coming off as very, very attractive to people. Pile number two, I do think maybe you have done some intense inner work since, and again musk is something that animals use to attract mates, right? So let's see if there's a message about love. So just give me a minute and we'll get to channel. Okay, pile number two. So my attention is going onto the yellow flame for you. And for pile number one, my attention was on the red candle. But for you, it's the yellow candle. So I do feel there's an emphasis over here on self-confidence, on your own personal ego and learning how to project it. In fact, I think pile number two is the antithesis of pile number one, because for pile number one, I basically said that they need to push themselves through an ego death, or it's gonna come sooner or later, and that's the better thing to do. But for you, pile number two, I see the opposite. I see that you're trying to dissolve your ego, and what you need to maybe do is not dissolve your ego right away, but to learn to project it in the world with more confidence and speak your truth. Again, for pile number one, we had the red candle, but somehow it just burned down than the other candles, and I had to put the blue candle. So I do think there's an emphasis over here on your Vishuddha chakra, which is your fifth chakra, which is your throat chakra. So really speaking up, speaking your mind, speaking up in important maybe business meetings or certain calls that you will have to make. You have to sort of learn to stand up in your confidence and learn to assert yourself, even if it is not the most natural thing that comes to you. Pile number two, right now, you have to be in this energy of being in the battlefield and doing whatever it takes to win the war. And again, I don't think you are the kind of person who is really interested in such aggressive acts. I do think you're very Venusian by your nature. I do think you enjoy more feminine things, but I do think right now you have to find a balance, and by finding the balance, overextend your masculine self a little more to again sort of protect your feminine self, right? Pile number two. So again, there's a very clear message Kalimaa has over here for you to understand that yes, there are many different parts within yourself, and there will be some parts within you that you like more than others. But there are times when you need those parts of yourself that you don't like so much, right? It's like sitting for that math exam. It's never fun, right? So being a little more detached to the good and the bad happening to you right now, and just focusing on what needs to be done. Because there's an energy of doing over here. There's an energy of you being so much at peace internally that no matter what is being thrown at you, and I do think right now there are more responsibilities on you, or you will have more responsibilities on you soon. Pile number 2, and I really don't want you to cave in. And I want you to understand that this is being given to you right now because you can handle it, because you have become resilient, and because you can sort of thrive not just by yourself, but also help other people. Because I do think as a result of whatever you're trying to achieve over here, it's not just going to help you, pile number 2, it's going to help a lot of people that you meet along the way, right? So focus more on your needs right now. Focus more on whatever is helping you keep the whatever is helping you right now to sustain yourself in this energy. And I do think you're very protected, but I think there's an emphasis over here on upping your protection in whatever way you can, especially spiritually. Because like I said, the more you ascend, the more you do well in your spiritual tests. Even if it's something worldly, even if it's the most mundane thing, it still has a very spiritual nature. That's why it's happening to you in the first place, pile number 2. And this is what you need to understand and grow from that. Grow from a very balanced space. And again, I will not sugarcoat things. I would rather be honest with you, pile number 2. And I do think you are traveling on the road less traveled. And as a result, you will come across challenges that maybe no one has ever faced. But it is a part of your destiny. Understand that. And I do feel every time you do well in this sort of a test, whether it be whatever, you will be given more power, you will be given more authority, you will be given more stability and more abundance. But all of this is happening so you can realize your true alchemical power, pile number 2. That's what you are. You are an alchemist over here, and you have been able to make some very difficult things work for you, which would not work for most people. So understand your special gifts, and understand that you're sort of like a special video game character with special weapons and with a deep, dark story that makes you the way you are. And as a result, you're not going to go through most simple things that other characters would go through, but yet you would have your own lore, which is very cool and personal and not very favored, right? Like it's always the cool kids that like the villains. Pile number 2. So understand your darker nature over here and balance it out and do good with both. I think that is the message for you. And I think a lot of y'all are running. I just see the flames running. That's what it feels like to me. For pile number 1, the flames were more dancey, but for y'all, it just seems like the flames are running to me right now. So I do think you're maybe trying to run away from certain things that you don't feel you're ready for right now, but it is exactly what you're ready for. And we will never be ready until we go through it, right? Pile number 2, that's just the nature of reality. And I do think Kalimaa, what she's really trying to emphasize over here for you is see the beauty in the pain. And I'm not saying you have to romanticize it. I'm just saying that, you know, just the way we sort of remove the seeds when we eat a fruit, that's not how life works, right? We sometimes have to chew the seeds. And that itself is an experience, right? Pile number 2. And since I mentioned seeds, I do think there's an emphasis over here on just creating and your abilities to manifest, and understand that you are in the energy right now where whatever you ask for, whatever is in your highest and your greatest timeline will align to you and it will be given to you. So manifest very wisely, because it will manifest for you. So just know. And if you're trying to manifest something that is not happening, maybe that's not something you need right now. Pile number 2. Understand, pile number 2, that we don't always have to be perfect to be functional and to do what needs to be done. yes, we can strive. Yes, we can strive towards perfection. I have a Virgo North Node, so I feel you. Understand that yes, we might never reach perfection, but we can get very, very close to it. And just in that expenditure of your energy, you transform more beautifully. So again, there is this alchemical message of you learning and using everything you've ever had to experience, even the bad things, and turning it into something beautiful and something to be cherished. Pile number two. And that's how you will also be freed of certain experiences you've had in your past. And I do feel this is sort of like not just a 180 for you, but this is like a complete 360. I think what you're being also called to do is to completely transform, to sort of throw yourself in the fire over here metaphorically, to come out anew. But yet learning to be in this world, not completely escape, right? Pile number two. And understand that you do have a kingdom to rule over. No matter how big or small it is your kingdom, pile number two. So there's no running away. If you get tired, give yourself a day or two. Give yourself 3 days, but get back to it. Keep yourself a bit on your toes. Have more expectations from yourself, and know whatever you're being asked to do right now or create, whatever it is, it's a general reading, it is going to lead to something better. And what you're experiencing right now itself is going to be a nugget of wisdom that you will be able to use later for yourself. So understand all these things are happening for your betterment, even if it feels like punishment often, right? Pile number two. And speak your truth. There is beauty there. There are things that only you can express. Pile number two. So express it. You don't even have to speak for a lot of you. Maybe you just need to write. So whatever it is, fit it to your situation and do it. I think that's the slogan for you. It's just do it. Pile number two. Just get it done. And even if you have multiple things to do in a day, break it down for yourself. Focus on the current task and then worry about the other tasks, right? You don't have to do everything all at once. Like when I start my day, I just think about the first thing I have to do. I don't think about all the things I have to do in the day. Otherwise, I would not get even the first thing done, right? So understand the beauty of your mind, but don't let it outtrick you. You outtrick your mind. By number two, and use it. It is an instrument of greatness. It is supposed to be your best friend, not your enemy. So do whatever it takes to integrate that part of yourself, and it will just happen by experience. I do think you're already doing it, but just be more mindful of it, because it will again help you further on your journey when certain things happen, right? You will be more self-aware and you will just know what to expect, right? When things come around, so to speak. So don't let yourself feel small. Sometimes all you have to do is just play your favorite music. Sometimes all you have to do is play your favorite music and just dance, right? So get that energy moving. Definitely work out every day. No matter what workout or yoga you do, focus on your abs, because that's where the seat of your ego is. That's where your personal power is. So call all your energy back to yourself and harness it for something better, something only you are here to create so beautifully, right? And understanding that itself is worth doing all this for, Pailamba, to just try at your greatness, right? Than to have never tried. So be more daring, be more in your Knight of Wands energy. That's what I'm seeing over here. Be more forthcoming with doing things. And as a result, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded for your fearlessness. You will be rewarded for not letting the doubts get to you, pile number 2. Very handsomely, I would say. And the dogs have been just very loud for pile number 2. So, and they weren't so loud in pile number 1. So again, I do think you just have maybe more distractions than an average person. But if someone can handle it, it is you. And sometimes we need the pressure, right? We need the pressure to make those beautiful, priceless diamonds, right? You're not plastic diamond, pile number 2. You are the real deal over here. And it just comes with its territory. So let go of all this baggage and focus on just your greatness and creating that for yourself in whatever way you're being called to do right now. Even if it is just doing some simple task every day, just showing up to work for a lot of y'all, you know, do that, build that discipline. You will be able to sow better seeds over here on that foundation. Trust me, pile number 2. So definitely get to going and doing what you're being called to do right now. And the energy is very intense in the reading today for all the piles, I feel. So, and I do think that is the energy of kalimaa, because it is very swift and fierce. There is no this or that, right? It is very clear, and there is swift action. And what you also need to take right now is swift action, pile number 2. The crown is yours. All you have to do is just lead your kingdom every day. Show up. Get it done. And now I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's honestly a very awesome message for you, pile number 2. Any other messages? Work on your voice. Speak more. There is an emphasis on spoken word over here. So articulate yourself the way you need to. Take time with it. Maybe read more. But say what needs to be said. Do what needs to be done, pile number 2. And again, it makes sense, right? We have the musk. We have the musk scent. So musk is always, I think, in the male deers, I think. So be in your masculine energy, even if you are a woman, or even if you're non-binary, doesn't matter. Learn to be in your masculine energy. It will help you so much more for things to come. And I'm not saying that things will always be difficult, but imagine, right, if you're a video game character and you have fought up to level 30, you're going to be stronger, right? That's the point of all this, pile number 2. So you can get to bigger arenas, basically. Whether it be spiritually or in a worldly sense, right? Fit into your situation. I'm focusing on the reflection of the flame now, so take time. Do take time out for yourself. Find the balance of this yin and the yang energy, and do self-reflect from time to time, so you don't let your ego make you its prisoner. You really have to be very sharp and at the top of your game right now, pile number 2. It's almost like you're the Olympics, you know? This is it. So I really hope you do feel motivated to do what needs to be done. And talent is one thing, but having discipline and hard work is another, right? Pile number 2. And the message is as simple as that. Any other messages? Again, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video. Share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading, and I'll see you guys in your next reading. Thank you. Pile number 3, if you chose the third scent, which is Love Forever. This is your pyromancy, fire scrying reading on messages from kalimaa. Just give me a minute and we'll get to channeling. And I'm just going to apply some of this. And I love this scent. It's very floral. It's very fruity. It's like walking into a fresh rose garden and feeling very enchanted by it. And it's called Love Forever. So that's also a very cute name, I feel. So maybe this will be a love reading, I don't know. It just smells like if you wore a dress of roses. Like how the fragrance that would come off you, right? Very beautiful. So just give me a minute and you get to channel it. And since I just said this, I do think you're naturally coming into a very Venusian time in your life. I do think maybe you're coming out of a very dark phase and things are going to be more luxurious and beautiful for you. You're going to have more pleasurable experiences. I do feel that is sort of the message for you, pile number 3. But let's get to channeling. Pile number 3, what I'm noticing is the reflection of the flame in the candle. So I think you have become such a pro at life, honestly, pile number 3, that you know what to focus on and what not to focus on. You're very clear cut in understanding what needs to stay, what needs to go, and you don't just understand, you also do it. Your energy is of a very wise old soul, I feel, pile number 3, and I think you always understood what to focus on, what not to focus on. Just because other people are focusing on certain things doesn't mean you have to focus on it and find meaning. I think your quest was always a little more internal in your life, and I do think you're finally coming into a time in your life where you will be able to share this with another person who will understand without you having to say much. And I do feel you're very comfortable in your own energy, in your own beautiful pool of energy, but because you do understand that you just can't share it with anyone. You understand that you're not like most people, and what would fly and slide for most people is just not going to slide for you, right, pile number 3? And I really feel you on that. So there is a very happy, gentle, loving message over here of, you know, you finding your forever love, right? And I do think that this is again just the icing on the cake, or the cherry on top of the icing, because you know you still made the brownie from scratch. Even if you got the whipped cream and cherry from the shop, right, you still baked the brownie. And you know, now it's the time for you to really eat and enjoy your brownie. And again, I said brownie, so, and I'm smiling, so I do feel you're just coming into a very sweet time in your life. You're just going to feel every experience is just more sweeter than the other. So if you don't have a sweet tooth, you know, you better start developing one. And I do think you naturally are focusing more on the gentler things, the more feminine things, the things that come to you more naturally. And I do think as a result, you know, you're just naturally blossoming and opening up even more beautifully than you were supposed to, pile number 3. So it is in your letting go, it is in your surrendering. So much beauty has been cultivated, pile number 3. And what it feels like is almost like when a roller coaster ride comes to a stop. You know, you went through the highs and you went through the lows, and you had your adrenaline rush, you got your kick, and you also got scared in the process. But it is just the euphoria, I guess, that you're experiencing right now of just coming off such an intense ride, right? And understanding that, you know, it will start all over again, but just really taking it all in, everything that you have experienced, you know, piece by piece, bite by bite, and really savoring it, really taking your time to, again, smell the roses. So I do think this person is going to give you roses, or this person has already given you roses, but I do think roses, particularly red roses, are going to be very significant for you in love. And I genuinely wasn't hoping for this to be a love reading, but I guess this is really a message from kalimaa, pile number 3, that, you know, you have done the work, and now it is time for you to reap the rewards. Because even when good things are given to you now, you're not going to get lost in them, because you know who you are. You're not going to be swayed by distractions. You're not going to be swayed by shiny things. You're not going to be swayed by trends, right? Pile number 3, you are someone who's going to be doing what you like to do because you like to do, and that will become a trend, you know? So understand your power over here, pile number 3. You do have a deep magnetism about you, and you're supposed to use it. You're supposed to use it for your betterment and also for betterment of people. So you're not going to be alone for very, very long. You're not going to feel lonely for a very, very long time. And honestly, like I said, you know, you bake the brownie. So everything on top of that is just like a sweet topping, right? Pile number 3. So you can have as many toppings as you want. I think that's the message for you. It's very sweet. You know, I'm really craving a bar of chocolate. So maybe you are too. And I'm not getting dark chocolate, I'm getting caramel, I'm getting milk chocolate, I'm getting white chocolate. So again, it's the sweetest kind of chocolate, right? Pile number 3. Okay, pile number 3. So your video got cut in the middle and I didn't realize. And we are just about to hit Mercury retrograde. So it kind of makes sense. I'm not even mad at this point that it didn't record. I'll just channel again. So just give me a minute. So I was just talking about how sweet your life is going to be and how it's going to feel like eating a very creamy, milky, caramelly bar of chocolate. Caramelly, like a caramel bar of chocolate. So again, with the video cutting, I do feel there is maybe some traces of fear within you. That is your happiness truly here to stay? And I really want you to know that it is here to stay. And yes, there are a lot of distractions in the reading. The dogs are going crazy and the video got interrupted. So understand that your happiness is yours, pile number 3. No one can take it away from you. No one can steal it from you. No one can ruin your day anymore. You will be happy regardless. And I do think maybe the message over here for you is to just get comfortable in your new happy life, and you're sort of at the other side of things, right? And I think I mentioned that it almost seems like you're almost getting off the roller coaster. You know, you've gone through the highs and you've gone through the lows, and you have had your adrenaline kick. You've really enjoyed every bit of the roller coaster ride. You've also gotten scared, and you felt the thrill, right? And I do think you're just really savoring all those moments now. You're really learning to take it all in, and just getting used to the new view that's going to be your life, pile number 3. So again, it's a very sweet message for you. And I think the only message of caution over here is to, like I said, you know, your happiness is yours. So no one can take away your happiness, but you know, we do have a tendency to focus more on the sad things, right? So I think you need to focus more on the happy things. Listen to more poppy music, just listen to more hip hop, you know, just listen to rock, whatever gets you going in a happy energy, listen to that and focus more on the happy thoughts, because your manifestation abilities are also shooting up, pile number 3. So whatever you say, whatever you think will happen. So you might as well be mindful about what you're manifesting, right? Yeah. But overall, it's a very sweet reading, and I wasn't expecting this reading to turn out to be a love reading. So know that if you have truly been single for a very, very long time, you're very, very close to meeting the one, pile number 3. Yeah. And I think that's where I'll end the reading. Any other messages? Yeah, this is all I have for pile number 3s. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading, and I'll see you guys in your next reading. Thank you.